you and I can do some of these things in automation. Let's talk about automation in product delivery. You might run the risk of sending too many notifications to your customer, but it's better to have one or two people feeling like they're getting too much than to have. It's better to have most of the people feel like they're getting too much than to have one or two people feeling like they're not getting what they're paid for. Right? So again, part of the product delivery process is automating every avenue that they can possibly get it. If you're going to use a membership of content of any kind, right? If you're going to use a membership and people are getting their content locked, that means they're going to need a login and password. Number one, you have to make sure your delivery email arrives in their inbox. It's not enough that you sent it. It's not enough that it's supposed to happen. It has to arrive there, and you've got to do what you can to make sure. One of the things you can do is to make sure you're using, for any delivery email, please make sure you're using something like SendGrid or Amazon SES for any transactional email. Please do not rely on a cloud-based system. Please do not rely on your WordPress installation. You will find more often than not that email is going to not make it into people's inbox. Sometimes you will have had your system send the email and it goes to spam just because you sent it through the WordPress system. Now, that's not necessarily your fault, but it is your fault if there's not another way that you have given your client, your customer, to make sure they got it, right? So everything that you can do in the product delivery process, especially that email, you want to make sure it makes it into the box. It's possible. Make sure that as soon as payment is made, right, as soon as they're taken back from their payment, you want to make sure they see what they purchased if you can. Now, that's not always going to be possible due to your setup. But if you can, right, make sure they see it as soon as they make payment. Now, it's not going to be a good idea, and this is pretty standard. I just need to say this. Please do not make people opt in to something they've already purchased, right? That's number one. PayPal doesn't like it, nor do merchant accounts like it, nor do your customers like it. So somebody have bought from you, and you're going to force them into an opt-in form. Don't do that, right? Not only is it bad etiquette, it really will kind of get the relationship started in the wrong way. Now, if possible, right? If possible, and it's not always going to be possible, but if you can. And this is going to be a little tricky now because Google Chrome is now no longer auto-playing videos, but it doesn't matter, right? Put a video on your page that is visible that says, watch this video first, right? And make it prominent. Make it so that it is unavoidable. Make it so that it is enticing for them to watch the video first. If they refuse to watch the video, give them visual directions. Give them a PDF. Explain to them exactly the first things they should expect, exactly the first things they should be doing. Explain it. Their first contact after paying, if you can, should be something that says, step one, do this now, right? If you can do this in video, try to do it in video. Now, again, even without the autoplay, this is going to go a long way, again, toward making sure that you are, and again, this is something that you can do ahead of time. Right? This is something that now it sounds like, well, that's not automation, but that's not moving it. But it is automation. It's because you are really explaining to them, and you are keeping your customer service from having to deal with a problem that you were heading off by making sure that you're explaining something ahead of time. Now, your email or support site should be visible in case something goes wrong. Now, again, that's just common knowledge, but now it's not commonly done. Right, so please make sure that your support's going to be visible when that happens. Now, this is a minor point, and I'm going to tell you why this matters in a minute. You would rather people go to your support link than rather email you, right? I'm going to show you why that's the case. Now, you can do an email, right, a support email, but if you have a help desk, try to get people to go to your help desk, and I'll tell you why. Let's talk about automation of customer support. Automation support. The more automation your support is, the better your customer experience is going to be. right? You want to try to do something like anticipate frequently asked questions. You probably get of all of the people that come to your support desk, there are probably 10 questions that a lot of people ask, right? Now, again, this is going to take you time to do, but it's worth doing. Make sure your customer can easily see these questions. Now, in the FAQ, doesn't feel like automation. That's not the cool part of automation, but what you've done is you've stepped out ahead of time and you've given your client or your customer the opportunity to ask and get answered a question that commonly gets answered. Now, again, what if your support is not around? What if your support's not going to be answering questions for another 5, 6, 7, 12 hours? You want to make sure that if it is a common question, they can get the answer to it. So when they come to your page, when they come to your customer support page, your support link, right? Again, you can't do this if you're doing a support email. You can do it if you're doing a support link. When they come to your page, try to make sure that the customer can easily see the questions and access the answers. This is important. And this is why you want to send people to the support site, right? Instead of just the email, because they can see your frequently asked questions, because you've taken the time and you're adding to this all the time. Right? You are building this up. So again, this takes time to do. It takes time to set up initially, but also it takes time to build it up, because every time you get a question that's going to commonly be asked, you can add that to your support site so that when people come there, they can see promptly, oh, you know what? This is something, this is my very question. I can get this answered right now. I don't have to fill in a support request. And again, when it comes to the people that you're hiring, right? Again, human capital, labor capital. It means that you're spending money to hire people that can focus on activities that will grow your business instead of things that are just commonly that you can take care of on automation, right? If your customer, if your assistant, if the person you're outsourcing to is spending their time on something that you could have answered up front, again, I wouldn't say it's wasting your money, but it is not getting the return on investment that you were putting in by getting a human being to work with you. And this can be done on a hosted site. Right now, typically you'll see this with help desk and support desks like Zendesk and Freshdesk and others. I'm going to show you an example. And this is just a frequently asked questions, right? It can be something really this simple. Now, this is easy to do if you have a specific kind of help desk. I think with Zendesk, it probably costs a little extra. With Freshdesk, it might come with it. And basically, it's going to be worth it. What is it doing for you? Well, what it's doing is it's giving your clients and your customers a chance to ask questions, right? And to get them answered without your customer service person having the answer. And while your assistant can continue to work on high value activities. Right now, let's talk about automation in lead collection. Automation in collecting the leads that are coming into your marketing funnel. Now, in most cases, you're going to be set up to collect leads on the sale of your product or your service. Now, just because you have an after-sale autoresponder, this is not foolproof, right? So don't think that just because you had 10 sales, you had an after-sale autoresponder, now your list is going to grow by 10. It's probably not going to grow by 10. And there are a lot of reasons for that. This is not a foolproof method of building your list. Now, it's a great method of building your list if you go through some of these processes and you automate a few things. And sometimes a purchase email is not the one that's going to be used regularly by the customers. In other words, they use their PayPal email address, and then they buy something that ends up being the one gets put into your leads. And so you're sending autoresponder emails to an email they're not answering. Right now, again, for a lot of reasons, that doesn't help you any. In some cases, what will happen is, some customers are a little savvy, and they'll see the little check box, and they'll say, you know what, I don't want to receive any other product notifications, right? And it's their right to do that. It's not even a bad thing, right? If they know they're not going to want it, right? They're not going to want to get email about it, then they don't want to receive it. But again, you can't assume that just because you made 10 sales, you're going to end up with 10 new people on your list. So how do you work around that, right? So how do you work around that ahead of time? Number one, you're going to make sure you've got a squeeze page and opt-in page set up, right? It should already be set up. It should be prominent so that people can see it. Number two, you're going to have to set up emails ahead of time. Again, this is not the sexy part of automation, but these are things that should be happening automatically. People should be told automatically. They need to be incentivized automatically to go to your opt-in page after they purchase. Now, why? Now, you can get them there from their thank you page. So if they end up landing on the thank you page, you can incentivize them. You can give them an offer. Give them an offer to get something free if they go and they do this right now. Give them something that they will value. Give them something that you'll have no doubt that they will go to get their best email address, put that email address in, get the confirmation, follow through, and get what you promised them if you give them a proper incentive. Now, again, this has to be set up ahead of time. You try to do this with a broadcast email, it's not going to work. Excuse me. And even if you get it to work, right, you're going to have to do it over and over and over again. What you want to do is set this in motion behind everything you sell. So that anytime somebody buys something, anytime somebody sees something, they see the thank you page, they see your incentive. You want to get that person to opt in onto your list. Delivery page. Make the same offer again, just in case they miss it on the thank you page. If they actually do get the initial automated email, right, make sure that they see the offer again. They see the offer to opt in. Again, this should be part of your double opt-in process. You want to put these people through a double opt-in process because the double opt-in process is going to be a higher quality lead. And when an individual opts in on this list, then you're going to automatically have them removed from the automatic lead collection list if they're using the same email, right? Right? You want to do that. So basically what you're doing in this lead collection process is you're trying to move people into double opt-in list, even if they came in single opt-in. Now, and you try to set this up ahead of time because again, you want to make sure that the person that number one, they put their best email in. Number two, that they're double opt-in and that they're open to communicating and getting your email from you. Now, and again, this kind of goes to what I was saying, and you stand the highest possible lead quality from this method. You're going to get the highest quality lead of your lead collection, right? Your leads are going to be of the highest quality.